Said, we as players have to create for ourselves.
And here's the Royals starting lineup presented by Price Chopper. The Royals are hoping that the impulse for that momentum comes from this starting nine. Maikel Garcia at the top, then Bobby Witt Jr. and Vinny Pasquantino after that. Salvador Perez bats cleanup, and he's back behind the plate catching. Carter Jensen is the DH batting fifth. Isaac Collins is in left, Lane Thomas in right, Michael Massey plays second, and Kyle Isbell rounds out the starting lineup for the Royals today. Andre Pallante is the starter for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's prepared to make his 9th start of the season. This is a pitcher, Jeremy, that the Royals have seen quite a bit over the last couple of years. This is Pallante's 5th year in the big leagues. Today is his 70th career start. It is his 6th career start against the Royals, so there's some familiarity there.
Yeah, he's gaining experience, been around for a few years now, 27-year-old out of Mission Viejo, and he's got really good stuff. Good breaking pitches, especially his slider. Also can move the fastball around the zone. Split finger change that he'll use on occasion, but we'll take a look. This is his 9th start of the season. You see the ERA, 4.46. His last start was against the Athletics. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all in the same inning. But was able to help his team and get a win against the Athletics. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud shows you his pitch arsenal. 31% four-seam fastball. The slider right there, that's his strikeout pitch, and just allows a 161 average. He'll use his sinker. Knuckle curve's a good one. It drops off the table, and the split finger change from time to time. Let's take a look at the defense for the Redbirds this afternoon. In left field, Thomas Ajazi, Victor Scott, Nathan Church, and then in the infield, Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn, J.J. Weatherholt back in the lineup after missing his first game of the season, and Alec Burleson, Ivan Herrera, the personal caddy for Andre Pallante.
That was a perfect pronunciation of Sajaci. Well done.
Well, I actually doubted it the whole time.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. Lance Barksdale's the crew chief. He's over at first base today. Ryan Willis is behind home plate to call balls and strikes. And you see that Digi Camo themed mask. It is Armed Forces Weekend. Yesterday, Armed Forces Day. Will Little's at second. Ryan Additon is the umpire at third. It feels like Andre Pallante has been around for a while. Then you'd be right, but you might be surprised to learn that Pallante is actually one of the longest tenured members of this current Cardinals team. He's made his 5th straight opening day roster. That's tied with Lars Nootbaar for the most on the active roster. Nootbaar is still currently on his way back from heel surgery this past offseason. He has yet to play a game this year. So Pallante is one of the longest tenured members in that Cardinal clubhouse for a very new look Cardinal team that enters at 27-18. They have won 13 of their last 18 games. They have been one of the hotter overall teams in baseball. Meanwhile, the Royals at 19-27. They've lost 6 straight and trying to snap that slide today. Ready for baseball at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And the first pitch to Maikel Garcia. Taken low for ball 1. Garcia had a double and scored in the 5th inning yesterday. That double snap would have been an 0 for 12 stretch for him. And he smacks it back up the middle. A base hit to begin the game. And nobody has had more leadoff hits this season than Maikel Garcia.
110-mile-an-hour ground ball up the bat, off the bat, up the middle. That's when Maikel Garcia is best. Past couple of games, we've seen him roll over some pitches, inner third as well as away from him. When he has that inside-out swing, he becomes lethal, and like you said, Jake, is one of the best to lead off in the big leagues.
So a small positive result, maybe leading to some momentum. First inning runs would be a big step forward for a Royals offense that has had to scratch and claw, as you heard Vinny Pasquantino point out, to score runs over the course of this series and this road trip. Now, that has been less the case for Bobby Witt Jr., who enters today with a 9-game hitting streak. 4 home runs in his last 9 games. With a hit today, Bobby Witt Jr. would have yet another 10-game hitting streak. It would be his 12th 10-game hitting streak since his debut. That's the most in the majors since he came to the bigs in 2022.
Yeah, he's a hit machine, as you well know, and he's able to string together long stretches. You see that 24 of his last 26, but his 11, as you said, 10-game hit streaks, most in Major League Baseball, just one above shortstop for the New York Mets, Francisco Lindor.
You know what I love about stretches like this with Bobby Witt Jr. is no matter what number you throw out there, no matter what you look at, there's another way to tell the story of how good he's been. You look at the heat map over the last 26 games. That is a whole lot of red.
I think I've used the term nowhere to hide if you're a pitcher. That heat map shows you just how well he hits pitches in every part of the zone.
Pops this one up, first base side. Burleson's by the dugout, and it's into the first row. 2-2.
If I were facing Bobby Witt Jr., I would do all within my power. Number one, see if you can get ahead of him. He's probably going to hit a line drive, but if you were to get ahead of him, you've got to find a way to get in that low and away quadrant. Breaking pitches, at times he'll chase them. Fastball, if you can pound it low and away, you might get him to roll over. That's your best chance. It's your really only hope as a pitcher.
Herrera sets up low and away, and Palante checks on Garcia for his second time this plate appearance.
Two disengagements at this point. If he throws over again, he would either have to record the out via pickoff, or Garcia would be granted second base.
In the air to left, Sajaci shy of the track. He's got it one away, and Garcia draws the throw to second.
That's a nice pitch by Palante. Breaking ball, the curveball, the slider is the one he typically goes for the strikeout with. But that was a good breaking pitch down in the zone, maybe out of the zone, which is another way you can get Bobby Witt Jr. to hopefully not hit a line drive base hit.
Pasquantino had a line drive base hit yesterday, an RBI single in the 5th inning. That was a good sign from Vinny Pasquantino. Not just the situation with a runner in scoring position, but also the type of hit. A line drive up the middle of the field, a little bit the opposite way. Vinny said for a while, when he's at his best, when he's going well, you see a lot of those line drives towards center, toward left center.
In talking with Matt Cottrero and evaluating kind of where Vinny is lately, he's been pitched really tough. And so Hughes said numerous times, like, his approach is where it needs to be. He's just getting a lot of tough pitches. Cutters in on the hand, hard fastballs have been located. Pitchers recognize that Vinny does damage in the middle of the zone, and they pitch him very carefully.
Well, Palante is keeping a very close eye on Garcia. He's got 4 steals this year, but he's also been caught 3 times.
Yeah, hasn't had the same success he had a couple of seasons swiping bags, but of course has great speed. Maybe the Cardinals thinking Royals are trying to manufacture a run early in this game. Might send him in motion.
Infield plays Pasquantino to pull. Gorman's off the line at third. And Pasquantino flares it left center field. It's down in front of Scott, a base hit. And now Scott fumbles and Garcia takes advantage. An extra 90.
Almost a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday when Vinny collected an RBI. Line drive to left center field, that inside out swing. In on the hands of Tad, you'll see this pitch trying to come in. It's more up out of the zone this time, so he doesn't get the good part of the bat, but thankfully not. It falls in front of Victor Scott, and Michael Garcia, very good base running, just a minor bobble, but was quick to turn and go to third base. Take advantage of anything the Cardinals defense will give you.
Runners on the corners for Salvador Perez. Last year, 30 homers, 100 RBIs. And the Royals need that kind of run production from the middle of their lineup. 6 home runs, 18 RBIs this season for Salvi. Even though that's not the kind of production that he or the Royals would expect, it is interestingly in line with his start last year.
Well, I know Salvi would have liked to have gotten off to a better start in 26, but the reality is it looks very similar to what happened last season. As you said, Jake, look at the batting average, a little bit lower, more home runs this season, OPS very similar. So what did it equate to last year? 30 home runs, 100 RBI. If this guy can turn it around and do what he's done his whole career, expect some offense to be coming very soon.
I think the point or the takeaway is that you want the results, obviously, as soon as you can get them. You need them as soon as you can get them. It is a reminder that it is May 17th and it's a long season, and Salvi, even with the similar numbers last year, wound up with 30 homers and 100 RBIs. 1-2. And he takes the slider, 2-2. And he's back behind the plate today. He has had slightly better offensive numbers on days that he's caught than days that he's been strictly the DH. Rip to left, and Sajasi angles back. He makes the catch. Plenty deep enough for Garcia to tag and score. And the Royals have a first-inning run.
Nice job by Salvi. Got himself a fastball. Inner third. Able to drive him, Sajasi, all the way back towards the warning track, and cashes in that all-important run. That was Maikel Garcia leading off with a base hit and then taking the extra base on the bobble by Victor Scott. So very nicely done by the Royals.
And that error by Scott proves pretty costly for the Cardinals. The Royals cash in that leadoff base runner. And we've seen a number of times, especially on this road trip, Jeremy, the Royals get a leadoff runner or even two runners with nobody out but fail to score. So 1-0, top of the first. Jensen's the DH today. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. Snapped a 5-game on-base streak. Still all around been a good road trip for Carter.
Certainly has. 5 hits, 2 walks on the road trip, batting .417. See it right there. A nice approach, like I said in the open. First day in Chicago, he talked about just being too anxious, trying to get out and pull baseballs, needed to stay back. Use the big part of the field, and he's done that for the most part these past 5 games. You see Palante really likes that slider. In fact, when I think back to the Salvi at bat, it was almost like he was trying to go hard in to set up that slider. That's where he gets most of his strikeouts. Opponents only bat .161 against the slider, and that's both lefties and righties. He pitches it, uses it both ways. Gets both sides of the plate and has really good success with it thus far.
Pumped up on the infield. Long run out for Herrera, and he makes the grab about halfway up the line to end the inning. 1-0 Royals. We go to the bottom of the first. Royals baseball coverage powered by Major League Baseball.
We make sleep easy.
J.J. Weatherholt is back in the Cardinals starting lineup. He had his first off day as a big leaguer yesterday, and then it's righty, lefty, righty all the way down for manager Oliver Marmol. Herrera, Burleson, Walker, Gorman, Wynn, Church, Sajasi, and Scott for the Cardinals starting lineup. And that is the lineup that Stephen Kolek faces. His third start with the Royals this season. One quality start, and then for the first time as a Royal, last time out, Jeremy, one not quality start.
Yeah, you see he starts the game off well. First time through the lineup. .056 average thus far in his first 2 starts.
That was the case for him against the White Sox, too. At the beginning of this road trip, it was 4 scoreless innings to start the day before the White Sox scored all 5 of their runs in the 5th against him. Slow roller to first, and Pasquantino's got it. 1 up, 1 down.
They saw a little cutter in on the hands right there to Weatherholt, but let's take a look at his arsenal. 4-seam fastball, likes to use it up in the zone, has a good sinker that can attack righties. Changeup, that's his best pitch, will limit the averages well under 100. Mixes in the cutter, slider, and sweeper to go along. A couple of breaking pitches just to get those hitters thinking.
He said after his last start that the Royals had noticed that the White Sox were a team at times that would expand the zone and chase, and they were trying to exploit that, but it also had a backfiring effect where it led to some non-competitive misses. Got him out of the zone, which is his strength, pitching in the zone and inducing weak contact like he just did with Weatherholt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to pitch to your strengths. If you identify that there's a weakness in chase, then you take advantage of that in the pitcher's counts, meaning early on strikes, and then if you get ahead 0-2, 1-2, maybe then you try to get that chase. And it was just too many times it was the first pitch slider trying to get a guy to swing out of the zone, then it was a ball, then it was 2-1, and just a different Stephen Kolek when he's pitching that way.
Now, the good part about that was the 6 strikeouts, and he had a career high 13 swings and misses.
Yeah, he certainly did. Created a ton of swing and miss. A lot of it on his changeup, which is as per usual since he came over to the Royals. He started to use that changeup 19% of the time versus just 9% when he was with the Padres. So the Royals identified that pitch as a quality one. And here's what I like to start the game already. 3 fastballs inside part of the plate. That's a changeup, but attacking the inside part of the plate with movement towards the right-handed hitters. Isaac Collins today in left field. Izzy in center field. Lane Thomas will get the start in right. Michael Garcia third base. Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop. Massey at second. Finney at first. And Salvi behind the dish working with Stephen Kolek.
You would expect it to be a fairly busy afternoon for the Royals infield today. Already 2 ground balls, and Kolek, when he's at his best, is inducing a lot of ground balls.
He certainly is. Over the past couple of years, well up in that 60% range of ground balls. This year a little bit lower, but all about getting on track here. Just made 2 starts.
Broken bat flare. Massey ranges out, but it's just over him. So Burleson keeps eating right. Broken bat single with 2 outs.
Well, he certainly does. Had a couple of RBI yesterday. One of the more productive Cardinal hitters, a silver slugger. And just finds a way. That bat right there goes down a hero. He snaps it right there on the handle. Nice pitch by Kolek. Nice job by Burleson to find a way to get it on the grass.
First pitch strike on Jordan Walker, who was, relatively speaking, kept in check yesterday. 1 for 4 with a single. He homered in the series opener on Friday. One hopper to Garcia, and he goes the short way to end the inning. 3 ground outs that Stephen Kolek induces, and a scoreless bottom of the first in St. Louis.
Or you dig.
Come out to the K on Friday, June 12th, 7:10, when the Royals host the Astros and take home a special Royals Teachers jersey with the purchase of a theme ticket. Purchase now at royals.com/teachers. I love that, with a little pencil on the underline of the jersey. That's a nice touch.
Hey, they don't miss any details with the Royals.
Isaac Collins leads off the second, with Lane Thomas and Michael Massey to follow. Collins only has 1 hit in this series, but he does have 4 hard hit outs. So the contact has been really good. He just hasn't had the hits to show for it. He's driven in a couple of runs this weekend. And he went around, and that's strike 3.
Well, no hard contact on this at bat. Palante goes with the curveball, drops it out of the zone, and Collins unable to check his swing.
Well, we haven't seen any Royals hit the ball on the ground yet, despite the fact that Andre Palante has the highest ground ball rate in baseball since 2023. That was his first full season in the big leagues. Now, Palante was a reliever that year in 2023, made 62 relief appearances, and then jumped into the Cardinal rotation in May of 2024. You see some of the names on that list. These are premier ground ball pitchers in baseball, and Palante is right up there with him.
Well, let me tell you how he does it. A little bit is with that slider that we keep talking about. Got good depth on it, but another thing is this 4-seam fastball. You'll see him run this 94 to 97. That 4-seam fastball has natural cut as well, so you'll see it in on lefties, going away to righties. That creates a lot of ground balls. There's the hard slider, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle here. Royals hitters have bat well against sliders all season. Collectively as a team, a .250 average against sliders. So something will have to give. We'll see if We've already seen Palante go to the curveball more often today.
He goes to it again and gets Thomas out in front. Back-to-back strikeouts for Palante, both on that knuckle curve.
Well, maybe it's a scatter report. Looking to use the big curveball versus the sharper slider that you saw the pitch before to Lane Thomas. Of his 33 strikeouts coming into today, 26 of those have been on breaking pitches between the slider and the curveball.
That knuckle curve down in the zone has been his best weapon so far. That was the same pitch that he threw to Bobby Witt Jr. to get him to fly out to left.
Yeah, not a strikeout, but maybe just as impressive to get Bobby off balance and hit a lazy fly ball.
And now he starts Massey off with that knuckle curve. Inside out swing. So JC got a bit of a late break, but he runs it down, and that ends the inning. The Royals are down in order in the top of the second.
Now you can join in on the post-game splash with this stainless steel Splash Cup giveaway presented by Quick Trip. Be one of the first 10,000 fans on Monday, May 25th versus the New York Yankees. Get your tickets today at royals.com/promotions.
It was a really good first inning for Stephen Kolek. 10 pitches, 9 strikes. And he induced 3 ground balls. And now he's got Nolan Gorman in an 0-1 count.
Not sure you could ask for anything more from Kolek. It's exactly what you want. Aggressive, attacking the zone, and seeing balls on the ground.
Battle of 2018 draft picks to start this inning. Nolan Gorman was a first-round pick, and the Cardinals drafted him 19th overall that year. And it's not the case for Kolek. He was an 11th round pick in 2018. He's drafted by the Dodgers, a few years in their organization, and then traded to the Mariners in 2021. He found some success at the AAA level, but the Mariners did not protect him, and he was taken in the Rule 5 draft by the Padres. Wound up making his major league debut against the team that drafted him. He made his big league debut against the Dodgers on opening day in 2024. That was a series the Padres and Dodgers played in Korea. And Kolek pitched out of the bullpen. And he gets Gorman looking. First strikeout today for Stephen Kolek.
Set him up very nicely. Fastball, then a cutter in on the hands. Then he ran that sinker right back over the plate. Starts it inside. Gorman hadn't seen that one yet. Caught him off guard. Really nicely executed.
When the Royals get 10 or more strikeouts, get a free Blue Bunny item the next day at Price Chopper. So 9 more to go.
Well, with all that swing and miss he had in Chicago, perhaps it could happen.
So Kolek was a reliever initially with the Padres, and then last year was starting for them. 14 starts before his trade to the Royals. On the ground toward short, just past Witt. Second hit of the afternoon for the Cardinals.
That trade for the Royals was a tough one. They saw one of their favorite teammates and a fan favorite, Freddie Fermin, get traded to the Padres, but got 2 great starting pitchers back in return. Ryan Berger, currently on the IL, and Stephen Kolek.
We say a belated Feliz Cumpleaños to our pal Freddie. Turned 31 yesterday.
Got to catch up with Freddie down in Mexico City when the Padres were playing the Arizona Diamondbacks. Supposed to be a home game for the Diamondbacks, but I'll tell you what, 90% of those fans were screaming for the Padres, aka the Fathers. They were, it was. Had a few Diamondback players tell me, like, this is supposed to be home games for us, and it's anything but.
Cool atmosphere.
Yeah, really good job. The Mexico City series is an incredible international series that Major League Baseball does. You've seen them recently in Korea and Japan, as well as over in London. It's one of the better ones, and I could see more World Baseball Classic games being played in Mexico City. great stadium, the Diablo Stadium. Just a few years old.
A lot of home runs.
Yeah, there are.
That's a high altitude ballpark.
Yeah, it is. It's above. It's higher than Mile High slash Coors Field, right? It's higher than what it is in Denver. So.
Swung on and missed. Back foot slider gets Church.
Oh, I love the 3-pitch too. It's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening in 8th and Church. Not wasting any time, just attacking the zone. And this is what he said, when he's ahead, that's when you start trying to get the chase. Not on the first pitch. That's a tremendous slider. Disappears underneath the barrel of Church.
Now, before the Royals traded for Stephen Kolek, his last start as a member of the Padres, in fact, came against the St. Louis Cardinals. Only time that Kolek has faced the Cardinals in his career. Give you 3 guesses what happened that day. The first 2 don't count.
They won, they lost, or they tied?
If we know anything about Stephen, it's that he'll deliver a quality start. And that's what he did against the Cardinals that day in July.
Yeah, very efficient. 6 innings, 98 pitches, just a couple of runs.
I do appreciate the Bull Durham direction you went in, though. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. Ahead is JC 0-2. Rolled over to the left side, and Witt goes the short way to end the inning. 2 scoreless so far for Stephen Kolek.
Fountains up, Kansas City.
Do you have what it takes to be the next Royals TV Capital Federal Junior Broadcaster? Visit Royals.com/junior broadcaster to enter. Maybe those kids are up to the task, or maybe they're just aspiring Stephen F. Austin Lumberjack Club baseball players.
Well, there's a new motto here in St. Louis. It's no shoes, no shirt, no ticket required. Because Ollie Marmol's got you taken care of.
Well, they're out in full force again today. Not sure if any of the Lumberjacks are actually present, or if this has just caught enough wind that more are taking part of it. The Lumberjacks do play tonight at 7 o'clock in their tournament over in Alton. Isbell shoots one past the bag at third, off the sidewall. Isbell heads for second. Sajaci fires over. Isbell's in there. A leadoff double.
Well, there you go, Kyle Isbell coming in, having hit safely in 12 of 18. Inside out approach, we've seen it all season long. Just shoots it past third base. Good hustle both by Sajaci as well as Kyle Isbell. Very close play at second base. I like this approach that Izzy's bringing to the table. Never trying to get too big. Just using that left side of the field. Got good speed, so anytime he hits the ball over there, he can stretch it into a double if he finds a gap or a little sidewall.
5-game hitting streak now for Izzy. He's got 3 extra base hits in that span too. And he's in scoring position to begin the third. Garcia started the game with a base hit up the middle. Then came around to score what so far has been the game's only run. Scored on Salvi's sacrifice fly. I think Garcia wants to challenge.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
He's been among the best at challenges as far as hitters are concerned. And there's another successful one for Garcia. ABS powered by T-Mobile. That is the 9th challenge that Garcia's won this year, tied for the most successful challenges by a hitter in baseball this season. Into shallow right. And Church is there. It's too shallow for Isbell to think about third.
Yeah, Michael Garcia has a real good feel for the strike zone. Don't see him go out and chase too often. I guess that translates well into identifying what is and is not a strike.
And not just that, but you appreciate his conviction. It's not necessarily a surprise from a player like Garcia, but he isn't shy about challenging when he knows he's going to be right.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. You see that 9 successes, so he's definitely putting himself out there and challenging when he sees a pitch that he believes was called incorrectly.
A lot of strikes so far from Andre Palante. 38 pitches now, 27 of them for strikes.
Palante, 7th career start, 70th career start that is. 178 appearances. So a lot of bullpen work from 2022 through 2024, but last year made 31 starts, just went 6-15, so it wasn't a great season by what they had seen with him in the bullpen previously. 5.31 ERA, but threw 162 innings and really proved himself as a reliable arm that they could run out there every 5 days. Gave up 21 home runs, but held hitters to a 270 average.
Couple of those starts, and one of those wins did come against the Royals. That was a little over a year ago now. Palante had what was his best start against the Royals. Went 7 innings, allowed just 2 runs. Well, the Royals got to him about a month later and tagged him with 7 runs in just 4 1/3. Well, the Royals have had success against Andre Palante. Those are the 2 starts last year, 2 very different outcomes. Overall, the Royals are 4-1 when they faced Palante. Down the right field line, and Church makes a leaping grab. He takes away a hit and saves a run. Cardinals fans have gotten used to seeing that kind of defense from Nathan Church.
Here's today's What a Burger, What a Play, and it comes early. Nathan Church, we've seen him in center field, we've seen him in left field, now he's in right, and you said it, Jake, one of their top defensive prospects, makes all of the routine and the spectacular plays. That's his 2nd diving catch this series. One was on a ground ball that could have got to the wall. Does it right in front of the Tarps off crowd, much to their delight. But what an athlete.
Yeah,
my goodness.
That diving stop on the grounder was against Bobby Witt Jr. too.
Yeah, so Bobby's got to be figuring, what have I done to you? But Church is impressive.
That's a spinner foul, 0-1. So, leadoff double. Back-to-back outs. And now it's up to Vinny Pasquantino to get Isbell in. Oh, and 2.
You see Palante there. First pitch, throws him the changeup, the split change, trying to get him out front in case he's aggressive. He's so far out front, he actually hit it off the cap. Now, after slowing his bat down a tick, tries to go hard in. So he sets up that same split finger low and away. He might go with that. Can also go slider under the hands, or he might elevate a fastball and see if he can get a chase.
And he goes with the fastball, elevated, gets the chase. That ends the inning, and the Royals strand a leadoff double.
Back
Back at Busch Stadium, getting ready for the bottom of the third inning. A quick update on Cole Ragans. He does remain on the 15-day IL with a left elbow impingement. Cole did have a bullpen this morning, and when I had talked to Q, he told us as for next steps, he would imagine a couple more bullpens, but they didn't have a schedule laid out because when we had spoke with him, it was before Cole had thrown a bullpen. Ragans has continued to throw at a higher volume and higher intensity with each day, so trending in the right direction for the Royals starter. This injury report update is brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System.
Yeah, good news for the Royals. You'll remember when he came out of that last start, was throwing the ball upper 90s, 96, 98. So hopefully it's just something minor that he needed to take a little bit of a break from, rest the arm, get some treatment, be able to come back sooner than later. You'll hope the best as he continues to throw on the mound and eventually gets into a game.
And Stephen Kolek initially made a spot start for Noah Cameron, has now been in Cole Ragans' slot in the rotation the last couple of times through. And so far so good for Kolek today. That is now 24 pitches, 21 strikes.
It shows you their early maturity, right? Talked about maybe he lost and recognized that he lost some of his aggressiveness in his last start. Well, he has shown the ability to adjust and say it won't happen today.
Facing Victor Scott II at the bottom of the Cardinal lineup. On the ground to third, and Garcia was perfectly positioned on the cutout. One away, and there's another ground ball out, Jeremy.
Well, it's that movement again. It's a cutter in on the hands of Victor Scott. Very few pitches, or if any, does Stephen Kolek throw straight. So whether it's a right-hander getting jammed by the two-seam fastball coming in, or it's the cutter, or he gets the big swing and a miss with a changeup. And he's mixing it up very well. 11 four-seam fastballs, sinkers, balls going different directions with sweepers and cutters.
Salvi's challenging, and he got it.
It's a strike. Kansas City has 2 remaining.
Kolek didn't think that it was going to be a strike.
Why would he ever doubt Salvi?
Lesson learned, Stephen.
One of the best right now, percentage-wise, on the ABS system. Let's take a look at Kolek's response. He's like, "Oh, nicely done. Okay, my bad. I got you, Poppy." It's a great reaction. Shows you that he's relaxed. You can't smile like that unless you have a nice level of intensity, but also a good feeling of relaxation, which I think Kolek does. Very slow heartbeat out there. Nothing phases him.
Kind of reminds me in some ways of Michael Wacha in his demeanor.
That's a good comparison. 25 for 33, 76% by Salvi. Like that right there. Tries to go back with the sinker on the inner third. He did that same sequence back with Nolan Gorman and froze him.
2-2 on J.J. Weatherholt.
That's a deadly combo, right? Sinker in on the hands, runs back just inside for a ball, now throws a pitch in the exact same location. Cutter, and Weatherholt is barely able to fight it off. This is why they like Kolek so much. All the things we've said over the past 3 innings. Aggressive, strike thrower, tremendous stuff. Relaxed.
Another 2-2. And another one dribbled foul. So Weatherholt stays alive. Back in the lineup today after he was off yesterday. It was his first off day as a big leaguer. On Friday, he was 0 for 5, but did get intentionally walked in the 11th inning. That extended his on-base streak to 8 games.
This young player is an absolute baller. They love him. They say there's a natural gravitation to him as a person and as a leader. College draft pick, like you said earlier, Jake. So comes in with some maturity. Look at the sequence here that he's had to fight off. This is a hitter playing his 45th game. He's facing some pretty good pitching. You see that advanced approach he has. And runs it up to a full count.
That's why the Cardinals are excited. He was the 7th overall pick in 2024. Drafted 1 pick after Jack Caglione. Cardinals got Weatherholt out of West Virginia. And he takes a walk, and you tip your cap to Weatherholt. That is a terrific plate appearance.
It really was. All kinds of pitches executed by Kolek that could have resulted in a strikeout or a mishit. But Weatherholt kept the bat alive, got himself all the way to a walk.
I had the chance to meet J.J. Weatherholt this morning. I was talking to him a little bit about that first round of the 2024 draft that we've already seen a bunch of big leaguers from. It's a little shaken up going back to the base there. I wonder if he got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, this is not good for the Cardinals. Saw Vinny stay down with him. Not sure if it was midsection, the arm, not sure what it was. Take some attention in the midsection. Another pickoff. Both pitchers have paid close attention to the hitters.
Oh, the ball hit him.
That's the hidden ball trick right there.
Stubby Clapp, their first base coach, just making sure he's all right. Here's the first round of that 2024 draft. These are all guys that have already reached the big leagues. Now, within the top 10 picks, there are 5 college position players that have been drafted and already made their big league debut. And J.J. Weatherholt was saying something interesting about how college programs nowadays have much better technology, that the player development at the college level, especially the highest levels of college baseball, is much, much better than maybe it was 10, 15 years ago. And so the elite college players that are entering the draft and coming out of college are that much better prepared for professional baseball, and they can ascend that much faster through the minors.
That's a lot of good points that Weatherholt made. And being a college draft myself, I've always thought going to college is a great route. In fact, I encourage kids all the time. Going to college gives you a lot more assurances and security. You get an education while you're there. Not as much pressure to perform once you get to professional baseball. But for whatever reason, baseball was always treated, they treated college baseball almost as like it didn't prepare guys for the big leagues. So a lot of college draft picks in the old days.
Garcia flags it down. The Royals get 1 out at second, and Herrera beats out the relay. That was pretty close.
Weatherholt went in hard to second base. Nice job to try and distract Michael Massey from making an accurate throw or a quick throw. See that there was a slow chopper, so already it was going to be a tough play by Garcia. Sure of one. Michael Massey is able to make a nice throw. A good stretch by Vinny. Always fun to watch him go down to the splits. It's impressive.
It hurts looking at it.
What I was saying is that college baseball seemed to be viewed as like not a preparation for the big leagues. So a lot of college draft picks would go through the same kind of route that high school players would in getting to the big leagues. And it would take 3-4 years at times. But with the improved technology, with the recognition of college players progressing and really improving their skills, it seems as though in the last 5 to 10 years, more college players are reaching the big leagues sooner. And you just saw it right there with that graphic. Not only are they reaching the big leagues, but they're making a big impact. And so maybe someday you'll see baseball turn a little bit like basketball and the NFL, where college players are viewed more as big league ready. But as for now, still a little bit different system in terms of development.
0-2 on Burleson, and he takes inside. Of course, we're talking about the upper 1% of the college players too. These are top 10 picks, not necessarily guys drafted in the 10th or 15th round that have ascended as quickly as they have. Toward the left field corner, and Collins watches it go into the seats. And there still is the kind of high-level high school talent too that organizations feel that they can both dream on and mold as those players grow and mature.
Of course, they look at high school players a little bit higher ceiling because there's more development physically and emotionally. But a college player that goes and lives on their own experiences so much that prepares them for minor league baseball. That's one of the biggest challenges. It's the physical certainly is a big step for any player, but It's the new lifestyle, the travel, and just that freedom for a young 18-year-old if you're coming out of high school suddenly to be on your own and surrounded by, you know, those freedoms that surround a baseball player and all that you can do. So a college player hopefully has experienced that and a little bit more prepared for what it means to go out on your own and play baseball every day.
Burleson fouls another one away. You saw that top 10. The only high school player in that top 10 a couple of years ago was Connor Griffin, who just debuted with the Pirates. That was an especially strong college crop of players, and especially on the position player side.
Kolek's already thrown 22 pitches, so this is the first inning that he's really had to work.
A lot of foul balls in this inning, both from Weatherholt before he drew a 9-pitch walk, and now from Burleson, who's fouled off 3 straight.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 count, so it's no fault of Kolek. Just hitters doing a nice job of fouling off his really nice pitches.
Check on Herrera.
Another timing play right there. You might have seen Salvi's glove drop. He's watching. He's paying close attention to the runner out of the corner of his eye. Sometimes a pitcher has a tough time really seeing exactly what the runner is doing.
Another 1-2. And Burleson hits it in the air deep toward the left field corner. Collins to the wall. He's got it. And he hangs on after crashing into the padding. Stephen Kolek appreciates the effort from Isaac Collins in the deep left field corner.
Now you can eat.
Today's flight by Yingling replay. Take you back. The last out of the 3rd inning. Isaac Collins gets a good read. And ball was driven by Burleson out there. And you see what a play going into the corner. Up against the wall. Nicely done by Isaac Collins. Stephen Kolek certainly appreciated it and saved a run to finish off the 3rd inning.
I don't know that Rogers Hornsby liked it all that much. He took the brunt of the impact out there. I've seen a couple of plays from Collins this series.
Absolutely. He's been for us what Nathan Church has been for the Cardinals. Diving play yesterday to start the game. Saves a run right there.
Salvi leads off the 4th. And he drills one deep to left field. Sajasi's to the track. He's at the wall. It's gone. A solo home run for Salvador Perez. His 7th of the season and the 14th of his career against the Cardinals.
Well, Jake, he must have seen the graphic and said, you know what, maybe now is the time to turn it on. No better team to do it against than the Redbirds. Always had great success against the Cardinals. Gets himself a first pitch knuckle curveball. Stays back well. Up in the zone just a tad, enough for Salvi to be able to elevate it and drive it just left of the bullpen in left field.
Two 2-0 Royals in the top of the 4th. And continue the countdown. Salvador Perez is now just 7 home runs shy of tying George Brett for the Royals franchise record of 317. Just caught the edge 1-2 on Carter Jensen. We were talking about momentum and the small things that create the momentum or continue to amplify it. You get a diving catch in the left field corner to end 1 inning. And then a first pitch solo homer to start the next half inning. I think you'd agree those are some pretty strong impulses.
Yeah, exactly. Impulses to stop negative momentum and reverse the trend. And the Royals will want to continue to stack those together. I'd say on top of that, obviously, Kolek on the dish, or on the mound, sorry, that is, has been excellent. Stringing together 3 really solid innings. Adding to that list of small, positive forces that can reverse the momentum.
Yeah, Professor Guthrie took a crash course in applied physics this morning to help us learn about momentum and the laws of thermodynamics.
That's all my wife. Anytime she hears a word that's used, and Vinny used it well, I said, we got to create our own momentum. My wife always goes, well, what is momentum? So we went in and dug into what we found. We don't need to tell you on TV, but it required some further research to understand what actually needed to happen according to what Vinny was saying. We're starting to see evidence of it this afternoon.
And you want to talk high-level math, you can go talk to Andre Palante. Danny Wexelman, who's a reporter for Cardinals broadcasts, shared a story recently about Palante taking multiverse calculus in college at UC Irvine. A very difficult course that quite a few don't make it through.
When he didn't make it the first time, 25% in the class the first go around. Took his own an additional class to learn more about it, prepped and went back and did it again, which I think is a really powerful lesson on what baseball is. You fail, but if you don't give up, you come back around. But yeah, what was the name of that class? It was crazy.
Multiverse calculus.
Multiverse calculus.
Don't ask me to explain it.
No, I'll give you a day or two, Jake. I'm sure you'll have an answer for us next time I see you in the booth next weekend.
Here's a message from Rally House.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Base is empty for Lane Thomas, with the Royals up 2-0 in the 4th.
My wife's actually going back to school, and she got her transcript from freshman year, which happened in 1997, and she was really happy. She saw that she passed college algebra.
Yeah,
so it's
there
not
you go.
multiverse or whatever it is.
I'll tell you what, I was fine with math until they started using letters. And it was a little bit more of a challenge. Pretty easy for Salvador Perez to do that. Double the Royals lead. 2-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. The fan favorite Pasquatch now has his very own bobblehead equipped with real fur. This bobblehead can be yours if you're one of the first 20,000 fans to the K on May 26th against the Yankees. Stick around after the game to catch the Sasquatch post-game concert at Rivals Sports Bar. For tickets, you can visit royals.com/promotions. And there is Vinny Pasquantino.
Jake, don't quote me on this, but I heard that the Pasquatch shaved his whole body and donated the hair as a kind gesture to the Royals, and their fans donated the hair so it could all be individually pieced together on each of those Pasquatch bobbleheads. Now, don't quote me on that.
I won't check you on that. I will say, when we get back to Kauffman Stadium tomorrow and the Royals start a series against the Red Sox, when Vinny Pasquantino reaches base, are we going to see a hairless Pasquatch?
His hair grows back very quickly.
Oh, I see.
This was a couple of road trips ago the Royals went on that he did that.
I see. Another one for the human Pasquatch. 2 away. That's a Wookiee. That's not a Pasquatch.
Holy smokes, that's not a Pasquatch, and he's just out in the open. Look at him. He's feeling some Nelly, some hometown music right now.
Star Wars Day here in St. Louis.
Wookie, 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 wookie. Uh-oh, he's feeling it.
I guess that's an appropriate song for Chewbacca. 2 up, 2 down, 2 ground outs for Kolek. He's only needed 3 pitches so far in this inning. And that was after a 23-pitch 3rd inning. And he continues to fill up the strike zone.
6 outs via the ground. Right there. 39 pitches for strikes, 50 total. Both are great numbers, well below par in terms of pitches per inning.
Oh, got him in the helmet. That was a slider that got away from him. And Wynn takes his base, and thankfully he seems to be just fine.
Yeah, that gets away from guys at times. Let's see where it got him here. Breaking ball. Oh,
I thought it was the helmet.
Ducked the head, but
okay. Still not pleasant.
I don't know which one he'd rather be hit in, so I won't speculate. You got the nice helmet to protect you, but back of the shoulder.
A little bit high on Church. Kolek struck him out back in the second inning. Kolek's got 2 strikeouts so far today.
Aggressive Stephen Kolek in the zone. 13 of 16 first pitch strikes. That is exceptional.
One and two. The shirtless contingent in the right field corner just started the wave, Jeremy.
That section moves the needle here at Busch Stadium. If you take the rest of the fans, which have to account for over 99% of the total fans here.
You mean the ones that have their shirts on?
Well, there's a lot that have taken their shirts off, not in that section too, on a nice warm day here in the Midwest, but the noise is coming from that right field corner each of the last 3 games.
Off the end of the bat into shallow center. Isbell's in the sunshine, and he's got it to end the inning. That is a 9-pitch inning for Stephen Kolek.
Right.
Kansas City Royals baseball is presented by your local Kansas City Honda dealers and by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. It's turned into a beautiful day in St. Louis after it was overcast on Friday, a little rainy yesterday, 80-ish degrees and sunny today. And the Royals have a 2-0 lead now to the 5th inning. The Royals are trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. That goes back to the home finale. The Royals are trying to finish off this road trip with a win. 0-5 on this road trip through Chicago and St. Louis.
It's been the road woes this season for the Royals. I've said it before, just 6-17 on the road, worst record. They've been swept 3 times, and all of those were on the road. So looking to avoid their second 0-6 road trip.
Massey sends one the opposite way, a leadoff single in the 5th.
Michael Massey trying to do his part and ending the losing streak. Nice swing by Massey leading off the top of the 5th. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, cuts back a little bit towards the barrel. Does a nice job shooting it into left field. Good swing.
Well, the Royals have never been swept at this ballpark. The last time the Royals were swept in St. Louis was 2002. That was at the second iteration of Busch Stadium. This ballpark opened in 2006. Christened with an Albert Pujols home run in the inaugural game here. Isbell bunts it up the line, a good one, and did it hit Isbell?
Yeah, I think
coming out of the box?
Might have bounced off him coming out of the box. Hopefully he was still in the box, which it looks like.
And that's what Lance Barksdale seemed to be saying.
Yeah, both he and home plate umpire Ryan Wills are. Because if it hits you outside of the box, you're out. So you want to make sure if it's going to hit you. You don't ever want it to hit you, but certainly you want to do it in the box. Maybe they're going to get a review. I think obviously Ollie Marmol thinking along the same lines. You saw Isbell get a little bit of a head start, kind of like a drag sack, if you will.
Fifth-year skipper for these Cardinals, Oliver Marmol. A little bit less money in his bank account after buying out those sections in right field the last couple of days. It was objectively cool the way that he's embraced those fans out there and invited them down to the clubhouse post-game yesterday to meet with his team.
Take one more look. Is he taking? All he has to have is one part of his body, and it looks like if it contacted him right on the near the 28, and his left foot was still in the box, no problem. That's going to be the call in the field. Yeah, the story's been well documented on a number of different platforms and showing the contingent of tarps off fans in right field, and then getting a chance to meet the team, which, like you said, objectively was really a cool gesture by the manager and the team.
And you heard from some of the players on that club team what that experience meant to them. Well, they're playing club baseball and they're in a big league clubhouse, getting to mix it up with guys that they look up to.
And that's what made it so great, was you saw the reaction of the players. I don't think I noticed it during the game, but guys like Mason Wynn during the game were actually gesturing towards the group. This ball in on the hands of Isbell. Tough sun ball for Mason Wynn, but able to make the grab. Mason Wynn, when he would go down the line, would make a gesture towards them, like the waving of the shirts or jerseys that they were doing. And the manager also looked up saying, "I can't hear you, I need a little bit more." So there was a lot of engagement. So when the players went into the clubhouse, you saw them. They walked out with swag for the Cardinals. They walked out with signed batting gloves. You saw guys like superstars Jordan Walker for this team, you know, engaging with the players, lots of photos. So it was a thrill of a lifetime, no doubt, for those players that got to go in and meet the team.
Quickly 0-2 on Garcia.
There was the thought of moving the runner over, getting the leadoff single, because he took one crack at it, ended up popping out. Now it's time for Garcia, see if he can find a hole.
He tried to, but it's over to Weatherholt. Wynn fires to first. That completes the double play. Wynn's got a cannon. He showed it off. And it's an inning-ending double play. Experience Memorial Day weekend with the Royals from Friday, May 22nd through Monday, May 25th. The Royals play both the Mariners and the Yankees. Enjoy Fireworks Friday, a Royal T-shirt giveaway, and a QT stainless steel splash cup giveaway too. Join the fun. Grab your tickets at royals.com/promotions. Stephen Kolek has been humming right along so far today. 4 scoreless on 56 pitches. He's been on the attack. Sajasi gets it just over Garcia, a leadoff single. And so Sajasi's got a hit in back-to-back games. That was after entering yesterday, not having had a hit in the big leagues since April 11th.
Yeah, same little deal here as last night. Gets himself a secondary pitch. Breaking ball going away from him, just flicks it into left field.
So here's Scott. Saw him trying to bunt. He does have 8 sacrifice bunts so far this season. That is the most in the big leagues. It is the most by a Cardinal through 45 games since 1951. A guy named Peanuts Lowry.
Oh boy, that's a baseball name if I've ever heard
yeah.
one. Buy me some Peanuts and Lowry. What kind of contract he got? Oh. No way that could have been his birth name, is it?
Nope, that was a nickname. They called him that because he was small. He was listed at 5'8". His given name was Harry.
Wish I could have got the name Popcorn Guthrie when I was playing.
for that you need to induce a lot of pop-ups, I think.
Well,
If you were the best pitcher at catching pop-ups, you would have been popcorn
I
governor.
gave up plenty of pop-ups. They just traveled about 385 feet on average. I called them pop-ups. Every time someone hit one out of the park, they just point up like it's going to be caught by the infielders.
Up the middle. Glove flip to Witt. Turn to first. A beautiful double play.
Oh, that's nifty right there. Michael Massey doesn't even go to the hand. Just a little glove flip. Momentum took him exactly where he needed to go, right towards Junior at second base. You'll see right here. Keeps the glove open. That's the key. He gloved it first, secured it, and then he opened the glove up and just popped it over to Bobby Witt Jr., who was fully expecting that little toss, and nicely turned.
Clears the bases before Stephen Kolick's third trip through the Cardinal lineup. Now Weatherholt tries to bunt. That will not earn him the nickname Peanuts Weatherholt. And now Kolick's ahead 0-2.
Jumped ahead of him last at bat, had a tough time finishing Weatherholt off, working all the way back to a full count and eventually a walk.
That was a 9-pitch plate appearance. And Weatherholt fouled off 3 in a row at one point. Kolick needed 23 pitches in that third inning, doubled his pitch count. Then a 10-pitch fourth inning. And now so far 10 pitches in the fifth inning.
Yeah, been very efficient all afternoon.
Another 0-2. And it's in there, called strike 3. Weatherholt's down looking. 5 scoreless for Stephen Kolick so far in St. Louis. Our Sonic Slam inning contestant for today is Ann McBree from Overland Park, Kansas. If a Royals player hits a home run this inning, Ann wins $1,100. If it's a grand slam, Ann will win $25,000. Visit the QR code for more information on how you can be a contestant. The Royals have hit 11 home runs in the 6th inning this season, but not for the last 10 games.
Say less, Jake. Say less.
Just putting it out there.
Here it comes.
It's 97 from Andre Palante. Bobby got robbed his last time up on a terrific catch from Nathan Church and right.
Take a look at the replay here. Bobby Witt Jr. drives this ball to right field, and Nathan Church is up to the task. Goes full layout for that, saves himself, or saves his team. Potential RBI.
Chopper to third. One big bounce for Gorman, and he's on target, 1 away. So Bobby's 0 for 3. And here's Vinny.
He fouled that ball off of his front footer leg. Asks for a couple extra moments of time here to see if he can get the feeling back into that foot. He hit it off.
Stroke to deep left. Nearly got Sajaci turned around. But his Team Italy teammate makes the grab. 2 outs. Last time up, another home run for Salvador Perez.
Okay, got himself a curveball. Middle down, and does all the work. 99 miles per hour off the bat. Nice swing by Salvi, getting him back on track. That's 2 home runs on the road trip.
That was the kind of swing that was looking for another home run. Hot corner, there you go. 14 home runs by Salvi against the Cardinals, most ever by a Royal against the Cardinals. It's a good day to hit to that area too. It has been gusting out to left field today.
All the flags here at Busch Stadium blowing towards left. So the American flag out in left center field has a pretty firm, I don't know what it has, a firm something, but the wind's blowing it hard. Let me just say that, okay? Has a firm flagpole.
I was letting you feel your way through it.
It's got a firm flagpole that it's attached to.
Firmly unfurled. Headed toward the ballpark village just behind left here at Busch Stadium. Rolled up the middle. Wind knocks it down and stays down. 2-out hit for Salvi.
That little soft ground ball up the middle had eyes. Salvi will take it. Slow roller. Mason Wynn does a nice job. It was either going to be a ball that Palante got or no one was going to be able to make a play, but Wynn able to smother it with that strong arm. Who knows? Could have been an exciting play. Average is 92. You said last inning had that hard throw on the double play. 90 miles per hour. Average is 92.3 miles per hour on his throws across the diamond. Was a pitcher growing up and an infielder, of course, but said it, played with Bobby Whitten. He was the guy on the mound because he was throwing upper 90s.
Put him on the mound now. He might look like Nate Eaton.
That's exactly right. Nate had a surprisingly good arm when saw him on the mound, registering over 90 miles per hour.
Now, Nate was up with the Red Sox somewhat recently. He's not currently on their big league roster. He's in AAA with the Red Sox right now. So barring a move, we won't see Nate early this week at the K. Jensen's 0 for 2 today, a pop out and a strikeout. And he punches it through the left side. A sharp single for Carter Jensen. Back-to-back 2-out hits for the Royals.
No, Bridget and I were talking about Carter Jensen in the pregame show. And this is the swing that he's displayed now during his hit streak on the road. He's just done a nice job of selling out for driving the ball to left center field. If the pitcher makes a mistake, sure, he'll turn on you and hurt you, but otherwise looking to go up the middle. He's done a very nice job. Came in 5-12 on the road trip, now his 6th hit in his mini games.
Bridget, what you got?
All right, guys. Well, just acknowledging things in the dugout and seeing things in the clubhouse as well. I talked with Lane Thomas earlier this week just about how he's been able to chat with Carter Jensen and Jack Caglio, and I often see them all together, and he told me just trying to calm them down, you know, when they feel like the world's ending, just keeping them right on track. I know it's easy to panic in the game, but you're going to go through ups and downs a lot, so I just try to keep them calm. It's okay, it's going to be fine, you're going to get to keep playing, and it looks like that advice is certainly resonating with Carter Jensen, especially this series.
It's always nice to have that veteran voice to help you through it, someone who's been through those challenges. Sometimes it does feel like that, especially for young players. The world is ending. We're here to talk all of our fans. Hey, the world's not ending. This is a good ball club. We've seen it many times over the past few years. The Royals can turn things around quickly with all the talent they have, from starting pitching to defense to the plate. They can go on a run, and they have gone on runs.
Collins is down looking. That ends the inning. The Royals strand a pair. About a 2-0 lead through 5.5.
Fountains up, Kansas City.
For every Royals hit all season long, Quick Trip and the Royals will donate books to Kansas City schools and nonprofits through the Hit the Books program. Learn more at royals.com/book request.
67 pitches for Stephen Kolek through 5. 52 of them for strikes.
Fun day at the ballpark. They've got some great music playing at Busch Stadium.
Believe it.
Jeremy loves it. He's been singing along all afternoon.
Hey, I'm just singing praises for Stephen Kolek and the offense. A couple of runs here.
And there's another grounder. And Garcia fires across. 1 pitch, 1 out. We've seen a good amount of that today. Not just ground ball outs, but quick outs.
Yeah, quick outs means he's attacking the zone, and his stuff plays. When it's on the ground, whether it's the cutter, slider, anything he throws. What we haven't seen actually is a bunch of changeups yet, so maybe we'll see one of those to Burleson.
Well, now 3rd time through. So you start to approach the lineup with a different wrinkle, something that you've kept in your back pocket those first 2 times of the order.
That's a good pitch to have in his back pocket if he does choose to use it.
Is that an approach that you would take when you could? First time through, do this. If that works, 2nd time through, do that. 3rd time through, what they haven't seen.
Yeah, that was kind of the old school thought in the old days. Try to get through the lineup, throwing as many fastballs as you could.
Like that one.
Nicely done by Vinny. But yeah, save your best off-speed pitches, your best breaking balls for later on. 2nd, 3rd time through. And in those days, a lot more was expected of the starter. Thinking they would go through 6, 7 innings 3 or 4 times through the lineup, and so you wanted to keep some of your best secondary pitches to the point where the hitters had not seen them before, weren't comfortable hitting against them.
Kolek's an out away from completing 6 for the 2nd time this season. It's gotten Jordan Walker to hit a grounder to 3rd twice today. So Garcia's ready over there. He's hugging the line a little bit.
I like how both pitches, fastballs in to Jordan Walker. That's one of Kolek's strength against right-handed hitters. That'll shake you up as a hitter too. Fastball in for a ball, fastball back in for a ball, then you throw another fastball in.
There's another grounder to the left side, this time for Bobby Witt Jr. A little high, past Quintino makes the tag, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 6th for Kolek, who's through 6 scoreless.
Visit Mo.com.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got this season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Royals, the official source for your Kansas City Royals gear. Andre Palante pitches into the 7th inning. Royals have gotten 2 runs against him, a run in the 1st inning, thanks to a Salvador Perez sacrifice fly, and then a run in the 4th on a Salvador Perez home run. Ball and a strike on Lane Thomas. Once upon a time, his big league debut came with the Cardinals. Came up in 2019. He was with them for a couple of years before he was traded to the Nationals in 2021. In the air, foul ground. Burleson and Herrera converge, and it lands between them. 2-2.
You can see Herrera hoping for some help there. That's a long run for a catcher. Different directions, looks up at the sun, but anytime you have to go back towards the dugout and the wall, that's a tough one. First baseman has more of a V line to the location. Herrera was fighting with all kinds of elements there, trying to figure out where he could make that play.
Fastball the top of the zone, called strike 3. 6 Ks for Palante. And now a message from UMB Private Wealth.
Is my retirement plan on track?
Are my investments aligned with my goals?
Is my plan built for the long run?
Schedule an appointment today.
It's a 1-for-2 day so far for Michael Massey. .89 pitches now for Palante, and some action in the Cardinal bullpen. Matt Svanson. You think they call him Svani?
They might.
They might.
Yeah, it could be Mike Swanson or Swanee. So
you swap the W for the V.
I thought that the V was silent. Sonson. So not silent?
No. It's not. Very much pronounced.
Or maybe the S was silent. Bonson. Svanson.
Another 0-2. Down and away. So Massey fouled off 3 straight. And now he's got Andre Palante wondering what he's going to throw next.
Having recorded an out in the 7th inning for Palante, that's his longest outing of this season. 6 1/3. He's completed 5 in every one of his previous 8 starts.
And he gets him with the knuckle curve. That is 7 Ks for Palante, 1 shy of his season high.
And that's been the pitch today. It's been the good 12-6 knuckle curveball. Throws that glove out in the way. That's a big distraction for hitters. Reminds me a little bit of Cliff Lee used to do that. Even Tim Lincecum, a version of that. Throw that glove out in front of where the ball will eventually come, the release point. It's a big distraction.
He's got some long strings on that glove too. Always wondered if pitchers left those strings long intentionally.
I think they do. Yeah, they didn't like them. I didn't like those dangling, so I would tie them in knots. You're well aware. If you're a pitcher, you're well aware of everything going on with your glove.
Feels likely that this is Palante's last batter at 97 pitches, bottom of the lineup. Three and 1. And Svanson appears to be ready in the Cardinal bullpen. And Isbell goes the opposite way again. His second hit of the afternoon.
Nicely done. Izzy continues to swing a hot bat for the Royals. A very nice job. 107 miles per hour off the bat. Line drive, good compact swing. Exactly what you expect from Izzy. See him find that little hole just to the right of Mason Wynn.
And as expected, a pitching change. Matt Swanson in every enunciation of the V coming in.
Price Chopper.
Kansas City Royals baseball is presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. By Community America Credit Union, invested in you. And by your local Kansas City Honda dealers. The Gateway Arch here in St. Louis opened in 1965, 61 years ago. And a beautiful landmark here at the eastern edge of the state of Missouri. 6 2/3 for Andre Palante today, and Matt Swanson is into the game.
For Swanson, it's his first outing in the series. 21 games on the year. You see the inflated ERA. Sinker, sweeper, cutter. Last 2 outings were scoreless. A couple of times pitching out in West Sacramento.
Garcia bangs it to left, but it hangs up for Sajaci right at him, and the inning is over. Time to stretch in St. Louis. 2-0 Royals. Our next broadcast on Royals TV tomorrow night back home at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals start a 9-game homestand. The Red Sox are in town for 3, then the Mariners for 3, then the Yankees for 3. Tomorrow night our coverage begins at 6 o'clock Central. It'll be Ryan and Haas on the call for the series against the Red Sox. There is Stephen Kolek on the mound now for the 7th inning. 12 ground ball outs today. That is a new career high for Kolek, who has been cruising this afternoon.
Yeah, the 2 flyouts, 3 strikeouts. He's made quick work of the Cardinals. There's a first pitch swing by Nolan Gorman. Just 76 pitches now to record 18 outs.
Now there's a ground ball that finds a hole. That'll happen too. No, it has not happened much today. That is just the 4th hit for the Cardinals today. All 4 have been singles.
Well, look for the Cardinals this time through the order. I know they're towards the bottom half already, but look for them to be more aggressive. With all the first pitch strikes, 18 of 23 by Kolek. Later in the game, you'll see offenses kind of go away from the theory of let's see more pitches. Now they're trying to get a strike and drive the pitch.
Daniel Lynch IV is just starting to throw in the Royals bullpen. Salvi wants a chat.
Well, maybe Salvi a little thought of last start. It's the White Sox. What had happened in the 5th just got a little bit away from being aggressive. It's 2 pitches, so I don't think that's a problem here for Kolek, but never a bad reminder. Talk it through. Hey, this is our plan this inning. Keep doing what we've been doing all afternoon. Early strikes. Keep locating that sinker. Cutter, slider. Make this happen. Get yourselves another ground ball. You've already got 12 ground ball outs. Royals infield shaded more towards the middle.
And there's a strike. Salvi gets him back in the zone. He's only issued 1 walk today. That was all the way back in the 3rd inning. Full count. Kolek has not been able to retire Mason Wynn today. He's got a single. He's also been hit by a pitch. Nathan Church on deck is 0 for 2. Here's the payoff. And Wynn chops it to 3rd. Over to 2nd. There's 1. And the turn's not in time. Wynn's too quick.
Nice job by Kolek. 4 straight fastballs. And put a little wrinkle into it. I'm going to top it. Get a force out at second. Nice afternoon for Stephen Kolek. Threw the ball tremendous for the Royals, who were in desperate need of an outing like this one.
Pitching change in St. Louis. Daniel Lynch, the 4th, is coming in. A terrific afternoon for Stephen Kolek. Another quality start.
It's Miller time.
Today's Rally House moments that matter. Stephen Kolek, 13 ground ball outs this afternoon. You saw he did it with pitches down in the zone consistently. Able to throw his sinker in on the hands of right-handers, throw that sweeper as well as the cutter away. Did a very nice job getting ahead of hitters and then finish him off. A lot of balls pounded right into the ground. Kolek 6 in the 3rd innings this afternoon. Chance for the win.
82 pitches,
yeah,
very efficient.
Nice job. Fantastic job.
Now he is responsible for the runner on first, though who that is in question. Mason Wynn just went down into the Cardinal dugout on the first base side, and it appears as though Wynn is coming out of the game, which is why Daniel Lynch, the 4th, has to wait a little bit longer before he throws his first pitch.
Well, that would be a big loss for the Cardinals. You saw as he got through first base, kind of screamed in frustration. I assumed it was because of the ground ball result, but it may have been something even beyond that.
So pinch runner for Mason Wynn is Nestor Prieto, or Cesar Prieto, pardon. Meanwhile, Nathan Church is still the batter, and Lynch struck him out just a couple of nights ago. Lynch delivered a scoreless 7th inning a couple of nights ago. He gave up a leadoff double to Mason Wynn, but then stranded him there. He struck out Church and Pedro Pages in the process.
Daniel Lynch, the 4th, has been tough on everybody he's faced this season, but especially against left-handers. Allowed just 3 for 34, an .088 average.
And we have seen him in higher and higher leverage as the season's continued. Entered in a tie game on Friday, and he preserved the tie. And now he's trying to hold the lead.
Yeah, he's earned every bit of those opportunities. Since day one has just looked that much better. Fastball ticked up a couple of miles per hour in the offseason with the work he did. More and more deception, keeping that front shoulder more close. We've seen a lot of bad swings, guys that can't pick up the baseball.
2-2 on Church. In the air to center, fairly deep, but Isbell's right there, shy of the track. 2 outs.
A nice swing by Nathan Church, able to stay in on that pitch away by Daniel Lynch. It's a nice job.
So now's the JC. Bereft of batting gloves. Don't see that all that often anymore.
Just a few guys here and there. A lot more in the old days, it seemed like.
On the ground at third. Another one for Garcia. He stabs it. Throws to second. Inning over. Lynch strands the runner and preserves Kolek's shutout. 2-0 Royals to the 8th.
Topper.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. That has been great to see the showing from Royals fans here in St. Louis over the course of this weekend. I've heard during Take Me Out to the Ball game, whenever he team's home fans inserts their team name, root for the blank. We've heard Royals.
Sure have. Always a lot of fans in St. Louis when we play here.
In the air to center. And Scott's got it, one away. So Cesar Prieto is now the new Cardinals shortstop. And Matt Swanson continues out of the Cardinals bullpen. 0 for 4 day for Bobby Witt Jr., which could likely mean the end of his 9-game hitting streak. Meanwhile, Vinny's 1 for 3 today. His single came back in the first inning. And then Victor Scott II committed an error on that ball that allowed Garcia to get to third. And Garcia scored on a sacrifice fly, the game's first run in the top of the first inning. And Salvi doubled the lead with a home run to lead off the fourth. 2 runs on 8 hits for the Royals today. Popped him up behind home plate. Herrera gets rid of the mask, and he's got it for the second out.
Another good pitch by Swanson against Vinny Pasquantino. Pitchers have done a nice job getting in on his hands, running cutters and sliders in there, running back sinkers. It's made it very tough on Vinny this season, consistently getting pitched hard in.
Swanson's gone 3 up, 3 down. He did enter today having allowed at least a run in 5 of his last 8 appearances. And ERA coming in was just a tick below 9. It was a disastrous start to the year for him too. Gave up 3 runs in a handful of his first few outings, and his ERA was at 15 in early April. Such is the life of a reliever. You have one bad outing early on in the season or really anywhere. That ERA is going to be a lot higher than you'd like to see for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's so much, managers will look at not just the overall bulk numbers, but the trends of a relief pitcher. See what they're doing lately, because to your point, you give up 5 runs against Boston on April the 11th. Your ERA is going to suffer for months.
After that outing, it was at 15.58, and it has slowly trickled down since then, even though he's given up a single run here and a single run there. 1-2 on Salvi. It's muscled foul. It smells good.
Sights, sounds, and smells of the ballpark.
Usually think hot dogs and popcorn, but sometimes it's baseball on bat. Another 1-2. And now 2-2. So Salvi's driven in both Royals runs today, a sac fly and a home run. He's also got a single today. Inside outed and into the seats.
Salvi asked me what I got him for his birthday this year, and I said I got you 2 home runs, and I put a little note on his chair back in Chicago. I said, "Feliz cumpleaños. Para tu regalo te tengo 2 jonrones." That's 2 home runs for your gift. He hit one that night and asked me, "Where's my other one?" I said, "You'll get it before the road trip is over, Salvi. Don't be impatient." And
you are true to your word.
I'll be the first to tell him, "Papi, now you have your entire birthday gift from me."
Es verdad. 2-2. And now 3-2. It's been a good at bat for Salvi.
It's been a good Spanish practice for you too. Tremendous at bat.
Muchas gracias.
Got to talk to Benji Molina this morning. Look at the sequence. A lot of hard sinkers.
And he takes the walk.
Swanson's got a good upper 90s sinker and also that sharp sweeper. Salvi able to lay off a couple of tough ones that You can see a lot of righties going after. Nicely done.
That is a 9-pitch walk for Salvador Perez, and he did mention in Chicago the need to be more patient and take what was given to him out of the zone and let guys behind him in the order come through, and that's what he's done here. Oliver Marmol's going back to the bullpen. That's it for Swanson after 4 hitters. Carter Jensen is due up. And Justin Brule is coming in for the lefty-lefty matchup. Grab your very own Lights Out Lucas Erceg bobblehead tomorrow when the Royals host the Red Sox. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to get your hands on this Light Up Lights Out bobblehead. For tickets, visit royals.com/promotions. And would you look at that? There it is. The Lights Out Lucas bobblehead. Here we go. Kind of hard to see in the daytime, but it does light up in the background. You want to give that a bobble?
Oh, yeah, I'm really good with bobbleheads. Let me show you how that works there. Yeah,
there you go.
Turn the light on and there you go. That's a good one.
It is a good one.
See the,
yeah, get that closer.
See the lights behind me?
There it is.
Go. Lights Out Lucas Erceg.
And then here's the back of it, which is also kind of cool. Got Lucas's signature there and his number. So there's the back. So come on out tomorrow, and you can get your hands on that one. First 15,000.
It's one of the best ones I've seen.
I agree. And you know, the Lights Out Lucas phrase, nickname, if you will, and actually started in a game against the Cardinals back in 2024. And Lucas had a lights out appearance, an inning and a third scoreless in a game at Kauffman Stadium. And thus, Lights Out Lucas was born.
There you go. And true to his name, the lights go out every time he comes on to save a game at Kauffman Stadium.
Brule gets Jensen. That ends the 8th. Perhaps we'll see Lucas Erceg later in today's game. 2-0 Royals. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Royals lead the Cardinals 2-0. So the Royals are just 6 defensive outs away from salvaging this series and finishing what's been a difficult road trip with a win. Lynch stays in the game, and Jose Fermin is ready to pinch hit for Victor Scott II. Lynch got the final 2 outs in the 7th to preserve the shutout and keep the Royals in front. So officially 6 1/3 scoreless for Stephen Kolek today. He was awesome.
I'll second that. Sensational from the first pitch on.
Now that was the Stephen Kolek that we saw in September last year. And in his first start this season too.
Well, it's the Stephen Kolek we've seen in just about every inning with the exception of the 5th inning last start. So.
Yeah. So a quality start. Stephen is at it again. Now 8 starts with the Royals, 7 quality starts.
Are you trying to hatch another bobblehead for next year? Quality start, Stephen? I say, come on now.
Lights Out Lucas worked all right.
Congrats on your first bobblehead, Jake.
Just here for the alliteration. I'm all about it. Three and 1 on Fermin. He got the start yesterday against Noah Cameron and went 0 for 4. And that velocity has consistently been mid-90s from Lynch. I remember talking to him during spring training about how he kind of fine-tuned his mechanics a little bit to get an extra tick or 2. And he used it there to get Fermin.
Yeah, came back right there. Nicely done.
That is
behind 3-1. Couple of, here it is, hit my fastball. Fermin couldn't catch up.
What's been impressive too, though not unexpected with Lynch, is that he's been pretty neutral. He has been very effective against both lefties and righties. Hard grounder to second, and Michael Massey is up to the task. 2 gone.
Well, part of the reason he's been so effective against right-handed hitters is that uptick in fastball velocity has made his changeup that much better. We've seen a lot more swing and miss. You got hitters that are trying to catch up with the fastball, and he throws it inside to righties a lot as well, which makes them have to speed up even more. And so naturally, he's getting a lot more right-handed hitters out front, swinging and missing in his off-speed and his changeup.
And you would expect to see that changeup against Ivan Herrera. He's 0 for 3 today. First pitch fastball at 96 from Lynch.
And it's a different 96 even still. The way you see hitters swing at, a lot of guys can throw 96, but when he pitches with the fastball, guys are behind it. They don't see the baseball as well. So that 96 might equate to 99 or 100 in terms of the ability of the hitter to pick it up and put a good swing on it.
And Lynch is so long too. There's 97. Now his 6th season in the big leagues. 2018 draft pick, debuted in 2021. Starter his first few years, and he's become a high leverage reliever. That's toward the hole, just past Garcia. A base hit for Herrera. There was the changeup, but it was up in the zone.
We in fact did see a changeup from Daniel Lynch. You said it, Jake. Just up in the zone, allows Herrera to be able to put the good part of the bat on it. Just right past the outstretched arm of Michael Garcia.
Brings a potential tying run to the plate in Alec Burleson. He has been a dangerous hitter in this series. 3 RBIs this weekend, 33 on the year. 9th most RBIs in baseball.
Yeah, second on this team, just 1 behind Jordan Walker.
In the air, right center. Thomas is in the gap, but Isbell's there to grab it. It's a scoreless 8th for Danny Tripp. He keeps the Royals in front, 2-0.
Summer.
It is the 9th inning in St. Louis, and you see Lucas Erceg starting to warm up in the Royals bullpen. He is preparing for a safe situation in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Royals offense give him some more breathing room, or heck, even sit him down by scoring a few runs and putting this game out of reach. Isaac Collins, Lane Thomas, and Michael Massey due up in the 9th against Justin Brule, who remains in the game. The Cardinals have also made 1 defensive change. Jose Fermin, who pinch hit, stays in the game to play right field, and Nathan Church is now in center.
Well, Isaac Collins has been much better from the right-hand side this season, a .263 average. A couple of home runs from that side of the dish.
This is his natural side. He learned how to hit lefty when he was around 11, 12 years old. His brother was a left-handed hitter, and he had some pretty good lefty role models too growing up in the Minnesota Maple Grove area. Guys like Justin Morneau and Joe Mauer. But there's a right-handed hit for Collins from his natural side.
Nicely done, Isaac Collins. Good short, compact swing against Brule. Gets a pitch inner third. Turns on this, drops the head of the barrel, or head of the bat on the baseball.
Strike 1 on Lane Thomas. 1 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. That's slashed out of play. 0-2. First big league hit for Lane Thomas was a pinch hit home run. You might recognize the face on the mound too. That's Seth Lugo. It wasn't initially thought to be a home run. Initially it was ruled in play, and then after review overturned, and Thomas got to finish the job. Seth knows.
He's heard about it once or twice this week.
And he wound up getting the win in that game anyway with the Mets. And they still have that same right field configuration area just by the Cardinal bullpen, where there's that small ledge between the top of the wall and the front of those right field seats.
For some reason in my mind, I imagine flowers or a flower pot there in the old days. I don't know if that's me just making stuff up, but
no, I think you're thinking of Detroit. They've got those hedges out there in right. Does that ring a bell for you?
No, it doesn't. But
Oh, there you go. There are some flowers out there.
Okay, maybe there's not in bloom yet, or
that's in left center. Collins
center.
takes off, and Herrera's throw is not in time. Stolen base for Isaac Collins.
Third on the season for Isaac Collins. Said it, Jake. Try and get a couple extra insurance runs if we can. Isaac Collins gets a nice break. Read the lefty when he lifted the leg and took off on first movement.
Thomas was down to the count 0-2, but now it's full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brule's about to throw his 7th pitch to Thomas. Half the pitches he's thrown today have now been to Lane Thomas. And it's inside ball 4. A terrific plate appearance for Lane Thomas. He earned that walk. And now the Royals have first and second, nobody out. A golden opportunity to tack on at least a run.
Royals want to get the runners both over if they can. We'll go to pinch hitter Nick Lofton.
Now, he has been a pinch hitter extraordinaire so far this season. And those season numbers do not tell the full story for Lofton, who's been even better since coming back from AAA in late April. He is 3 for 3 with a couple of doubles as a pinch hitter. And so Marmol wants the righty out of the bullpen instead of the lefty Brule. Pitching change. So Nick Lofton is ready to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th with a couple on and nobody out. And oh, this is all Nick Lofton's done as a pinch hitter so far this year.
Boy, he's found himself part of the late night knockers group, trying to come up and get the big knock for the Royals. 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter, a sac fly, so very productive in these opportunities. And he relishes it. He loves the opportunity to come in late. He knows if he's coming in, it's going to be a big at-bat. Prepares himself well.
And Matt Pichard is the pitcher. He was a Rule 5 pick by the Cardinals from the Marlins this past December. This is just his 2nd career appearance. Now, Pichard made his big league debut, and through that inning where he allowed 3 runs and then wound up on the injured list with right knee patellar tendonitis. He just came off the IL yesterday.
He's got a real nice sweeper and slider. You'll see it upper 80s for the slider, lower 80s for the sweeper. But that's a pitch. Might try to throw, might try to elevate his mid-90s fastball if Nick Lofton's going to try and bunt.
Corners have crept in, and Lofton gets hit. That got the bat and something else. It got him in the wrist. The cue's out of the dugout with Dave Iannica. Lofton's up and clearly in some pain.
We talked about this yesterday, just how difficult it is to bunt. Hitters not always looking comfortable when they don't do it a lot, and this is why. Fastball's up and in, especially when it's right on right or left on left. It seems to be where pitchers will often miss it to the arm side. So if we can take a look, we'll try to get a chance to see where it hits. Wow, it appears to be on the palm of the right hand. That's a really
right in the hand. That's
a really unique spot to be hit. A lot of times it'll be on the knuckle or on the wrist, but that's inside part of the hand.
Now, importantly for the situation, it did not get any of the bat. So that is a hit by pitch. Well, the way that hit Lofton in the hand, it's like he was trying to catch the pitch.
Yeah,
a 96 mile an hour fastball. That is going to leave a mark. It's good enough to stay in the game. That is a painful pinch hit appearance for Nick Lofton. And now the bases are loaded for Kyle Isbell.
Izzy's had himself a day thus far. A couple of really nice swings, a double and a single, both to left field. Now a chance to break this game open.
And the Cardinals have brought their infield in. Golden opportunity here in the ninth to get some more breathing room. Now have Alex Lang starting to warm up in the bullpen too. And this becomes a non-save situation. Now Pichard, in his only big league appearance, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. He needed 31 pitches. Half of them were strikes, so he was not in the zone much. Can understand some big league debut jitters with that appearance too.
It hasn't gotten any easier for him in his second outing. Throw him into the game, first and second. Still a close game, 2-0. By no means is this game over for the Cardinals, but first and second in his second outing, first one off the IL. High stress.
And he gets Isbell with the sweeper.
That's a tough spot for a lefty to swing at the sweeper. Usually it's down back foot. Sees that pitch away. You can see how late he was in pulling the trigger. Tough to identify a sweeper that starts up at the letter's back door.
So the infield backs up, especially the middle infielders, now with 1 out. And the baton passes to Garcia, who's 1 for 4 today. We weren't sure if Bobby would get another chance to hit today. So for 4, 9-game hitting streak on the line. He's now on deck. Over to third. Gorman steps in the bag. Thrown to first. A double play to end the inning. The Royals load the bases with nobody out but fail to score. And now it's Lucas Erceg's time to enter. Here we go, bottom of the 9th inning, 2-0 Royals, and Lucas Erceg enters to face Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Cesar Prieto. Now, Erceg has 10 saves in 13 tries, though he did blow a save opportunity on Friday. That was in extra innings when he allowed the placed runner to score. That's a good sign to start the inning. A swing and a miss on a slider.
Yeah, sharp slider. You can anticipate Walker being aggressive. Closer comes in, try to get a fastball cookie first pitch.
Now, Erceg on Friday gave up a first pitch RBI single to Alec Burleson that brought in the placed runner to tie the game. The Royals eventually lost 5-4. Another grounded at third for Jordan Walker, and Garcia takes care of it. So Walker 0 for 4 today with 4 ground downs to the left side, 3 of them to Garcia. The blown save on Friday was his first since April 20th against the Orioles. And really ever since the day after that, he has been back to the Lucas Erceg that we have come to know. Lights out. Only 1 earned run in 10 innings since. That run on Friday, the placed runner scoring, that is an unearned run.
He's done a nice job. Looks exactly like you said, like last season when he was going so well. He had a big fastball. Uses it in his changeup more this season as well. That's one of the pitches up in the zone he's been hurt on a couple of times. Keep that pitch down to couple with his four-seam fastball. Looks unhittable most of the times he's out there.
2-2. And that's low, and the count's full 3-2.
Well, with the 2-run lead, just want to go right after hitters. Never want to give up a big hit or a home run, but with the 2-run lead, nobody out, nobody on, that is. Go right after him like that. One of the hardest jobs in all of sports. The man responsible for recording the final 3 outs.
And that is ball 4. That brings the potential tying run to the plate. Now this would have been Mason Wynn's spot in the lineup, but he exited in the 7th. And Cesar Prieto entered a pinch run and replaced him at shortstop. He is playing in just his 3rd game this season and the 6th of his major league career. He is 0 for 5 this year and 1 for 11 in his career as a big leaguer. And Erceg's ahead with strike 1. Line to right, and Thomas grabs it. 2 away.
Prieto puts a charge into this slider. Up maybe just a hair from Erceg. See a nice compact swing. Middle down. That's a hot spot for most lefties. And Prieto puts a perfect swing on it. Right to Lane Thomas.
So now 1 out away from what would be a much needed win. For the most part today, the Royals have done the little things. Back in the top of the 1st, Michael Garcia took the extra base on an error, came in on a sac fly. Salvi doubled the lead with his home run. Stephen Kolek was terrific. Daniel Lynch the 4th, right behind him the same. Can Lucas Ursig keep the momentum that's been built today moving forward? The 2-0 to Church. And it's in for a strike, 2-1.
Well, with changeup 2-0. There's a lot of trust in that pitch. Last thing you want to do is fall behind 3-0. I should tell the hitter something. He's got a lot of confidence in all three of his pitches.
2-2. And now Ursig's a strike away. Sinker, changeup, sinker. Now what?
Something that looks like a strike finishes as a ball, perhaps, if it's a secondary pitch.
And then Church rolls it foul, went with a slider. Nolan Gorman was off with the pitch. Now he goes back to first. Joel Pozo has grabbed a bat. He's now in the on-deck circle. Pozo had the walk-off single on Friday. Another 2-2. Gorman runs, and the pitch is outside, and Gorman takes second on defensive indifference. A full count on Church, who represents the potential tying run. Payoff pitch, and it's dribbled foul. That was Ursig's 20th pitch this inning.
A little bit of everything in this at-bat from Ursig. Full counts to left-handed hitters. He mixes it up very well. It's tough to sit on any one pitch.
Another 3-2. And another one fouled away. He's about to throw a 10th pitch now to Nathan Church.
Yeah, interestingly enough, checking the statistics versus left-handed hitters this season, Jake actually has as many outs or results recorded against this changeup as he has any other pitch.
Church has fouled off 5 of the last 6. Ursig fires, and Church lines it up the middle. Witt knocks it down. Throw to first in time. Ball game over. The Royals salvage this series and shut out the Cardinals 2-0 to leave St. Louis with a win. Stephen Kolek, Daniel Lynch IV, and Lucas Ursig combined for the 2-0 shutout. Salvador Perez drives in both Royals runs with a sacrifice fly in the first and a home run in the fourth. And the Royals snapped their 6-game losing streak.
Well, that was a much-needed win for this Royals squad. Trying to salvage something, as you said, some kind of positivity from a really rough road trip, and they did just that. Stephen Kolek was fantastic. Good to see offense at the production by Salvador Perez. And a huge close and save by Lucas Ursig.
11th save this season for Ursig, who had to deal with the Cardinals only at bat today with a runner in scoring position. That was Nathan Church, who battled valiantly for 10 pitches and sent one back up the middle. Hard hit, but Bobby Witt Jr. was in the right spot to make the play. And so the Royals claw their way to a series-ending win, 2-0 over the Cardinals. The Royals get their 20th win of the season, now 20-27. And the Cardinals are 27-19. They'll be at Kauffman Stadium next month when the I-70 series resumes. And this was an important game for the Royals to head back to Kansas City with something positive momentum, Jeremy, and